This is Iron TV. According to a news release on the website defense.gov, there were almost 20,000 soldiers wounded in action in Afghanistan this year. That number might seem high, but according to iCasualty.org, there were 38 fatalities so far this year. Army Sergeant Marlon Stiles shows us a group of soldiers from 2nd Armored Brigade Combat Team who are practicing to keep that fatality number low.
Loading a patient into an unmoving helicopter seems simple enough. These soldiers from the 1-6 Regulars, accompanied by soldiers from the 417 Buffaloes, practice this simple task now so that it will be second nature when needed.
Just as long as everybody's on the same page, that's why it's actually important that we get mass participation, for training like this, so everyone's on, one sheet of music, across the brigade. Especially, it's actually important, especially coming from Germany, it's a little bit more cold weather environment. It's actually better for you to acclimatize out here just because, the heat will actually get you. So if you can practice now, you'll be better off in the long run.
Muscle memory is an important part of this training. Soldiers practice as if the blades of the helicopter are spinning, so no one is hurt.
Yeah, it's actually very important that we actually get this down on the training ground first, just because if this ever becomes a real-life situation, communication is actually one of the main things that you need to practice, especially for new guys that are not used to this. It would actually help them out if they're ever having to be a real-life situation.
Despite the noise and debris from a landing helicopter, troops have to be sure of their objective. A medical evacuation is a precise operation designed to get wounded soldiers the care they need. From Fort Bliss, Texas, I'm Army Sergeant Marlon Stiles.
With the U.S. military preparing to take on new challenges with the Ebola virus, a small team of military medical personnel spend time training to better understand the virus. Army Sergeant Patrick Ferraris tells us more.
A team of 30 military doctors, nurses, and specialized medical trainers from the Army, Navy, and Air Force are at Joint Base San Antonio's Brooke Army Medical Center to receive Ebola preparedness training. This hands-on training allows the small teams to get familiar with what they would be doing if they are ever called upon.
The training's has been excellent. I think we're getting a great experience putting on and taking off the personal protective equipment that we'll need to use in the field in a true response situation. I think the setup here at the hospital has been exceptional. And I think with this training and with the skill sets and healthcare professionals on the team, I think we could respond and we'll do a great job.
Waist first, spray the top.
The training consisted of different stations that simulated interacting with Ebola patients and taking the proper precautions to handle them. The theme of working together played a big part of how successful the experience and outcome of the training turned out.
I'm very honored to be on this team. I'm honored to work with Army, Navy, and the Air Force. That's very important to me. Teamwork is essential when caring for a patient and taking care of each other.
You see the chest rise and fall?
The week concluded with a competency skills evaluation that took all of what the students learned and put it to the test.
Rid of the bags itself.
Reporting from Brooke Army Medical Center, I'm Army Sergeant Patrick Ferraris.
Soldiers from the 1st Armored Division's Division Artillery honor tradition by holding their annual Molly Pitcher Day here on Fort Bliss. Here is Sergeant Travis Delzell to tell you more.
During the Revolutionary War, Molly Pitcher was the wife of a soldier who brought water to cool the artillery cannons. When her husband was seriously wounded on the battlefield, she took over his duties. Today, soldiers from the 427 Field Artillery Battalion honor her memory by giving their spouses a glimpse of what it's like to be a soldier.
It's good to see that, you guys have a lot of stuff to go through when you guys are far from home. Not just missing your family, but everything that you guys have to do on a day-to-day basis, staying up late in the cold out there. It's nice to see what you guys get to do.
The soldiers' wives started their day by going through the Leader's Reaction Course, an obstacle course that is designed to build team cohesion.
It was actually really nice just bringing my wife. It's like a day to bring your wife to work and so she can experience what we do. Seeing my wife just going through the obstacle course, it was amazing actually. It just made me remind me when I went to basic training what I went through, and just see her doing the same thing we did, it was pretty funny.
The smiles and laughter were widespread, and it was obvious that there was a sense of pride as they completed each obstacle in the spirit that is Molly Pitcher. Army Sergeant Travis Delzell, 16th MPAD, Fort Bliss, Texas.
The Fort Bliss Special Operations Recruiting Battalion held the inaugural Staff Sergeant Joshua M. Mills Commando competition and invited each brigade on Fort Bliss to send a team to compete. Army Sergeant Sarah Goss follows the 1st Battalion 36th Infantry Regiment team.
It started with working their way through the Leadership Reaction course.
And we kind of like had a somewhat of a plan, but we kind of jimmied it, like just went with it, and then just kind of like working together in a team. And it's kind of hard for us to work together sometimes, but then when we get together, it clicks and we know it, and we do good.
Then came the obstacle course and a buddy run before moving on to the ruck march.
The only one I'm really looking forward to is the ruck, and that's just because I'm already mentally prepared, so.
Anything that you are dreading?
The ruck. The one that I'm mentally prepared for, I'm dreading still.
What was it, man?
A hard day for any soldier, but it was all for a good cause.
I think it's awesome. I mean, I'm all about events, and when like we can memorialize someone, pay our respects to him for him serving us, like that's pretty, I like it. It's pretty awesome.
Although 1st Brigade didn't win the competition, their grader from the Special Operations Recruiting Battalion praised their heart and their drive to complete every task set to them. Some might say that at the end of the day, that's what being a soldier is all about. From Fort Bliss, I'm Army Sergeant Sarah Goss.
Be sure and watch next week's episode of Iron TV to see the entire Joshua Mills competition. This is Iron TV.